Tatsuya, I did not spend the last 3 months defending you just for you to almost give me a heart attack. Hello. This is our last recap for Worlds. Winner, Group 2 in the free skate, starting off with Denis Vasilyevs. He finally listened and took out his quad from the short, so he was betting on a clean skate, only for him to fall in the axle. Ulrich and Axel are not friends, but he's free, he went clean! Who cares about under rotations? Only figure skating fans, the Hungarian and Estonian judge get him. What do you mean 85 in the PCS for Denis? For a basically clean Denis. At least he was having the time of his life in that chair. I actually like the leader chair. It would be nice to have the green room in the front, I guess. Like the 1, 2, and 3 spots like we usually have, but this time in the arena so everyone can see their expressions. I think that would be sweet. Another underappreciated athlete from Group 2, Jun. Also, another faller in the axle. We really need Ulrich and Axel to go to purse therapy. Jun has one of the most gorgeous salcos of this generation. He lost some steam at the end of his short, but he had a full redemption in the free. How can he receive 86 for a fully mistake-free program? Well, except for that doubled. That was meant to be a quad. Croatia and Germany are such haters. We thought he was finally receiving the PCS he deserves in university games and in 4CC, but apparently it was just all home cooking. His local program deserves a master's in composition. Nevertheless, the interpretation rarely resonates with me. For me, this kind of Latin music needs to rip your heart out, and June might be too pretty for that. June should have gone above Adam, I'm sorry. Maybe it's controversial, maybe not. His short still gives me the problem that his slide is not in the correct musical phrasing. I really enjoy his gala exhibition. Will he turn it into his free in the next season? If so, I'm on board. His gym program just doesn't do anything for me. It's just kind of there. Benoit is a hit and miss for me. I adored all of his Kaori programs. She was clearly his muse. But none of his Adam programs have resonated with me. I feel like Adam's personality don't really shine through. Like I can see Benoit, but not Adam. And please, come on. He suffers from the French virus of off-axis jumps and they are just very ugly and he still gets rewarded. So I felt like Jun should have been ahead. And Shun Sato too. I feel like they are going for moments instead of a cohesive choreography and it just loses me. I love his Arabians aerials more than I do his backflip. I was okay with the backflip last season because it was very much like a fuck you to the judges, but this year they feel like an afterthought. Keeping up with Group 2, Romsky did not crash too much. I could never be a Romsky fan. I'm not anywhere near as strong as his fans. He had a strong short. People were clapping on time too. It was very dope. And that means that Team Canada has all the spots confirmed for the OGs. Happy that he made mistakes and did not drop his whole performance. I feel like this is a first. Another win for mental health. The crowd was amazing. Even Litvintsev, that doesn't normally get a lot of applause, actually received a pretty good amount of applause. But dude, I just need you to choose one singular song or piece with no remixes there, no gimmicks, only one. You cannot expect high PCS with a Frankenstein program. Because not even the people that deserve the high PCS with a not Frankenstein program are getting it, so you cannot expect more. He's got impressive jumping, but you must work on their performance, the choreo, and most importantly, on projection. Loser! Standing ovations. I'm kidding. Or am I? Jason. We all collectively apologize for not believing. It really was a good problem. But just like I mentioned for Isabeau, I believe Jimmy should have gotten the spot, but it's undeniable that Jason has never quavered any time the spots are on the line. Seeing him perform is always a treat, but being honest, I really enjoyed his gala way more than I did his competitive programs this year. Plus, I'm not forgiving that cartwheel in a lyrical program. Now the question is, should we expect another masterpiece like Zimmerman for next season? I'm more interested in that. And now, stand up for the king of the world, Ilia Malinin. What if I tell you this should have been his highest scoring program? And no, this does not mean new world record for him. I mean that he was very overscored in the past. This is the first time I can actually get behind a program of his because his interpretation is really good, at least at the very end of the free. Shailene Byrne did a fantastic job at the end of that program to build up to this the backflip. And it was really effective, at least for me. My only criticism is that he looks exhausted in that backflip, and I continue to worry about his neck. Skating skills are still middle of the road, and there are sections of his programs with nothing more than crossovers. Then again, this is the best he's skated so far, but it cannot truly be reflected since there has been an astonishing amount of inflation. His jumps are mind-blowing. But I would say that sometimes his jumps don't have any flow, and so they are not as aesthetically pleasing as they could be. Hopefully, one day in the near future, he skates in the way the judges reward him. That day, I will truly believe he is the best of the best. Side note, but I feel like I need to say it, after all the fiasco with the AI he released, it's not surprising more people are outspoken about their dislike for Ilia. The way I see it is that he's very mild in comparison to a lot of skaters. Personally, I don't mind his boastful personality. I know a lot of people take issue with his ego, yet he's shown that he's got good sportsmanship. From clapping for Yuma here, speaking highly of Alisa, sending a message to Kao Miura prior to nationals, just wishing him luck. Like, you can say that he wants the attention because he's in public, but he didn't have to message Kao, and he did it anyways. I think it's fine to have a big ego as long as you can prove that you deserve to be in first. Do I like it? No, but I don't mind it either. At the end of the day, this is a sport. And before you say anything, I know that he has put his foot on his mouth in multiple occasions, but as long as he shows that he has matured and is honestly a good person, yep, the bar is really that low. Having a diva personality is the least of our worries. Let him have his dreams of grandiosity. Winner! The Japanese 3 spots! They did it! Oh, 3 spots for men, 3 spots for women, everything is fine. Thank you, skating gods. And thank you for your sacrifice, Hyunyum. You did this for us and I will never forget. Tatsuya admittedly was not having a good weekend by his own admission. The Salco was just not Salcoing. Ulrich? But otherwise, he went clean on the free. He managed to get to Worlds, barely sneaked into the free, but Japan's got 3 spots. Like I've been saying, I believe in meritocracy, and as such, I'm glad they sent Tatsuya to World Championships over my guy, Kao Miura, and partially because I know Kao, and he would have gone nuts trying all he could for the end result, even if that meant aggravating his injury, which I fully disagree with. Thanks also to Shun Sato. Look at my ugly scribble for this. In true Japanese fashion, he was lowballed despite only 1 fall. But anyway, when we needed him the most, he stepped up and we all cheered. I was so worried for him since nationals, like he was breaking down at every single competition he entered since, but thankfully, he was just getting the nerves out of the way, and I haven't gushed about his short. Simply the best program he has had. It's classical enough to match his lines, and Shun struggles with projection and doesn't give much face, so this type of piece that feels more intimate enhances his strengths, just like a good choreo should. For the last couple of years, I've been semi-indifferent to Shun, but this program made me appreciate him. And now even more because we got the 3 spots! Kanto Boys to the Olympics, dream is alive! Now, if you ask me, who do I prefer, Kazuki or Shun? Personally, Kazuki. But I cannot fight the narrative that it would be very sweet that these long-time friends are all going to the Olympics together. More good news, Kao is going to work with Eiji Iwamoto, who's also known as the person who choreographed my favorite programs of his, Beauty and the Beast, and his lovely tango. Yes, I will always find a way to talk about my favorite dude, even when he's not participating in this event. Yuma. A story in 3 parts. Did you watch his short? Wow. The moment it ended, I wanted to rewatch it. And so I did, like 5 times in a row. Yuma is this kind of a skater that is so technically proficient and he's so good at everything he does. I always feel like he's missing a connection with the audience. And when I read that Lori was working on him about his gaze, oh please Lori, marry me. One of my fellow creators pointed this out, constantly looking down towards the eyes. And it rang very true with me. But this short, this time, no, he was projecting. That step sequence was so glorious. Like all season I was like, yeah, it's a good program, but I like it because it's Yuma. And he took it to another level. It's the best short program I have ever seen him perform. Left me speechless, I think it's a good word. How I mentioned it was glorious? He salgo off axis and he landed it somehow. I swear my neighbors could hear me gasp. Mr. Kagiyama, we appreciate your services from the bottom of our hearts. Also, thank you, skating gods, because he was not crashing against the boards. We can finally leave that behind in juniors. If anyone deserved to get close to Yusuru's record, I think it's Yuma, not Ilia. But oh well, we know the judges are very blind. The second part of this story is his free. It's on me because I'm pretty sure I told anyone willing to listen Yuma would never have a disaster of a free, and well, then that happened. And then this. And then that. Jesus, when will this end? Just soul-crushing.
What is this?
When he ended his free, I don't know why, but I was not scared about the Japanese 3 spots. I feel like that was a given already. I was just scared about his record of podiuming at every competition he has entered internationally. And for me, it was a relief when he was in the podium. Third, of course, but this felt like gold. It was only when I was scrolling on social media that I noticed people talking about him signaling 3, asking if they had gotten the 3 spot. That it actually dawned on me like, oh Jesus, it was actually a possibility of them not getting the 3. Third part of this story. If you think about it, this is the first time the responsibility of the 3 spots lies on Yuma alone. Last quad, he was out of juniors, he had Yusuru Hanyu, he had Shoma Uno. They were the ones driving. Yuma was just enjoying the ride. Like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, the fact that we got 3 generational talents in one singular team, I doubt will be repeated in a very long time. Having seen Yuma so stressed and then so relieved that they actually had gotten it because of Shun's results reminded me of the phrase, heavy lies the crown. Apparently, he has talked to Lori about getting a mental health coach. Everyone say with me, thank you, Lori! Which is for the best, honestly. Never before has he had to carry the responsibility of being the Japanese champion and everything involved with that process. Expectations are always high, but I don't think he was counting on being a leader too. And that's something he can learn from Kaori. She was not only the champion, she became a leader because she needed to. I think Yuma will grow from this and he will learn a lot from this. He will become a better skater. And one day, he will skate with the temperance of a champion, just like Yusuru used to do. And by the way, I didn't know you could be so cheeky, Yuma. I need to see more of that. Small Fed Rapid Round. Despite Daniel Landis not being able to qualify to the free, I find him a very pleasing skater to watch and I hope to see him break through one day. Blasenko was singing and he was clean with a personal best. Tomas not beating the allegations of Latino, everyone else. Clean shirt program qualified to the Olympics. And of course, Benoit Richaud's best program ever. Samoylov with his iconic AirPods. Sash about his Salco, he's normally so good, he's so talented with his quads. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Terrible day for David Luton Brain, the jumps were not working. I feel a bit guilty that I did not mention him at Europeans because he was very good at Europeans, the performance he gave was amazing. Another European that I just forgot to mention in the rapid round, our favorite raw meat eater Andreas Norvak. In my opinion, he's a full package. Good choreo, good technique, good jumps, good skating skills, good spins, good interpretation. He just needs one day to prove that he is one of the best. Losers, Mexicans. Donovan did not make the cut. He has looked so much stronger this season and he's done well with his quad style. It just hasn't worked in big competitions. His triple Lutz triple toe was called under and eventually downgraded. I don't know why he goes for the combo if he rarely lands it cleanly. Why not go for a triple toe for him to start getting accustomed to the quad toe or a triple flip triple toe? I simply don't understand. It was almost like skating at home for Donovan because I'm pretty sure I saw many Mexican flags. His interpretation was the best I've seen from him this season, if only the ISU wasn't afraid of 2 charismatic Hispanics in the free. No, but it was a fair assessment to be honest. He went on to Instagram and he posted this. For my non-Spanish speaker viewers, paraphrasing a little bit, it says that he feels at the peak of his sporting career so far, stronger than ever, and that his result has been very hard to take in. Adding, I know situations like this always present themselves when we need to learn something, like changing your combo, and that he will fight to the very end for his dreams. Donovan! The question is, Donovan with a chance? He has to go to Chinese Nebelhorn too. He usually does better at senior big competitions than he does in the big events, so I'm kind of hopeful that he will get one of the tickets. But damn, seeing him grow this much and not make the free when he's skated better than last year, it doesn't feel right. Then we have Torgashev. Yep, I know he's not Mexican. If I am to be disappointed, so are you. Sorry, not sorry. We were happily celebrating a fantastic short program because it's one of my favorites from the season and he basically skated clean. And suddenly, out of nowhere, someone informed us of his political inclinations. Dude, I am Mexican. Have I not made that clear already? You are making your way to my top favorite skaters and I feel like you fell from my heart just like you imploded in that free. He was for sure gonna make my top 10 of the year. I just cannot separate the art from the artist, you know? You can skip ahead if you don't wanna hear like the real world talk. Look, I know this is a quite elitist sport, and it shouldn't surprise me that a lot of skaters are actually conservatives. I think what surprises me is that you proudly and publicly you agree with misogynists and bigots. Disappointing. For me, there is a difference between messing up, being politically incorrect, or even speaking out of frustration, and another entirely is aligning yourself with people that have nothing to offer but hate. I don't mind athletes being very open about their dreams and what they want for themselves, but putting yourself on the side of people that just are haters, that they don't do anything other than spit hate. Like, what's the use? What's the point? For me, it's a sign that you're not any better than them. It's as disappointing as Kevin Aymoz defending Silvia Fontana and Zimmerman. What is the point of supporting the trans community when it was your turn to be brave, you weren't? Instead of supporting a victim, you stand by your coaches, who are systematically part of the problem, who intimidated said minor, said victim? Sorry, but no. Don't expect me to talk much about Andrew or Kevin. I understand if you still like them because I'm not gonna lie, they are very good skaters. But it would feel very disingenuous if I give them compliments when I just don't feel like it. As my great-grandmother would tell us, if you have nothing important to say, then say nothing at all. Expect factual information, maybe a couple of jokes here and there, mostly because the nickname Zero Aching is just too funny to let go of. Again, totally fine if you disagree with me. Probably you are way more forgiving than I am, so props to you. Andrew's still young, he can learn, but until then, he's in the same boat as Kevin. Thank you for the spots, but I don't want to see you at the Olympics. I just wanted to make myself clear, and thank you very much if you stay for all this rant. Now, back to our regular schedule. Winner! All of us are kung fu fighting. Oh, Misha's gala is so fun. The fact that he can land a triple toe in a panda suit, no one has excuses anymore. How much do you bet until he does a quad toe in the panda suit? He was the highlight of the free skate for me. It's not a program that I'm particularly keen on. It reminds me a lot of Britain's Got Talent, The X Factor, these kind of shows that use the gimmick of starting with a classical piece and ending with a modern song to rally the people behind them. It's not my cup of tea, but Misha is. He's got the most aesthetically pleasing jumps of the field. Probably tied with Yuma in salchows and axels, and maybe with Dai Dai, who is just a beautiful skater to watch. But I'm getting sidetracked, let's go back. Shaida should be renamed to Mr. Consistency, or I've also heard Quad Demon, but I'm yet to be convinced since he's so sweet with a baby face. I don't know, help me! Leave your proposal in the comments. My creativity is drying up at the end of the season. Have you stopped to think that the last time he was in the World Olympic qualifier, he was 32? And in the last 2 years, he was 14. And this weekend, he rose to second. Meteoric rise. Rocketman? It was clear as water that he was on an upwards trajectory since last year. I believe this year he would medal in the Grand Prix, which he did, and would find his way in the last group at Worlds, which he did. After his medal in Cup of China and later his win in 4cc, I was convinced that he was en route to a World's bronze. If you don't believe me, go watch my 4cc recap, because I said I would be surprised if he did not medal at Worlds. I love being right. Maybe I got the color wrong, but the silver is just the first of many medals. What do you mean? You know what's gonna be your music for the OGs for the last 5 years. Oh, now I'm intrigued, I'm excited. And look at this picture! Shall we cry together? Oh, Denise, if only you could see the legacy you left behind. Losers, 2 spots. You either have 3 spots or 1. Dai by Dai was the first to receive a capital Q, the one we all like. And I'm proclaiming myself as the president of the Daiwei Niven fan club. He's so beautiful. I could watch him do crossovers all day and I would be happy. The lots on the free was not good, but that deep edge when he makes it, oh, it makes me drool. I have not mentioned Chinese fans, but they are so funny. Since Dai qualified the spot to the Olympics, is he a novel concert? Or has he been demoted yet again because of the mistakes? Yes, I always ask the important questions. But what does this mean for Boyang? I know I miss him, probably you did too. He was 8 at Cup of China but withdrew from the Chinese nationals due to his long-time back injury. Apparently it has worsened during the Grand Prix. I wouldn't be surprised if he retires this year. I don't want it, but it might be unavoidable. This generation is dwindling. Do you know the funny part? We are actually the same age. So I'm like, oh no, my time has come. It's the sunset of my imaginary athletic career. Full life ahead though. Selevko, the youngest, couldn't manage to get the second spots either. He took Lara's concept for himself, but his jumps were just not cooperating. It's gonna be a three-way race between the Selevkos and Arlet Levandi. Sasha and Arlet are better performance than Misha in my opinion, but Misha is probably the least problematic of the three, so good luck, Misha. Nikkei Gadset technically earned 2 spots for Georgia. Happy he could recover from the disappointment of Europeans, only to die to the beauty of Nina Petrokina. Can we sign a petition for him to move to Urmanov? Because in theory, Georgia could send 2 people to the Olympics, but who are they gonna send? Morisi come back? Another nation with the same problem. Lukas Brycki could not skate as well as he did in Euros. I don't think any European could. Did not have the World Championship he was looking for, or season if we're being very honest. But the way he has risen deserves the applause and recognition, and being able to call yourself European champion, oh, must be nice. Winners! Freshly out of juniors. Adam Hagara in the fantastic second group. Of course, bronze medal twice in juniors. Clean in the short, clean in the free with transitions all the way through. Men could learn something from him. Very cohesive all the way around. Baby has officially graduated juniors. I don't want to see you back there. Josiang Lee from Taiwan, also in the second group of the short. To adopt or not to adopt? That's the question. Clean, 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 clean. He got my attention at 4cc and he did it again at Worlds. Sadly, his technical aspect was not very strong, but I prefer clean performances over take that they just cannot do. What I love about juniors going senior is that they know the value of going clean since most of them don't have stable ultra season juniors. Consequently, they focus on quality. And these 2 out of juniors, they gave us that. Quality. We'll go over the issue of quasi-juniors in the off-season, don't worry, we'll talk about this. Losers, asking for favors. Daniel, the only time I have ever asked you to skate well, to skate clean, and you do this. Never asking for a favor ever again. Nikolai, on the other hand, skated like a veteran, serene, decisive. He was gonna fall off after Dennis, June, and Adam programs, come on. Dream Italian team is over. Now the only question is, who do I prefer? Nikolai and Matteo, Nikolai and Frangipani, Matteo and Frangipani. Don't make me choose. Gabriel got my heart last season. I like Matteo, but his programs are always a hit and miss for me. And I enjoy Nikolai. Team Italy did not have a good showing here. So who are the last spots going to? Oh, it's gonna get bloody. People going to Beijing most surely. Donovan Carrillo, Nikita Staroskin, Edward Appleby, Daniel Lantz, David Lutyens-Brain, Ivan Shmuratko, one of the Russian guys, Hyun-Jung Kim, Diaz Jirenbayev, Mr. Economy, and Yuxian Lee. Sorry if I'm missing people or if I just made a mistake because I'm thinking from the top of my head. And we will go over this once we have the official entries to Beijing. Fret not! Who do I think will get a spot? I have to believe in Donovan, so Donovan. Hyun-Jung Kim, because his sacrifice won't go in vain, he has to classify now to the Olympics. Mr. Economy might be a safe bet. And of course, we have the big question mark that is Russia. Rumors say that it's Peter Gumenik, the one that they nominated. He did not win nationals this year. And the other factor that we have not mentioned is that we don't know how judges will perceive them or the political game they're gonna play. If they sign Gumenik or even Semenenko, they most likely are getting a ticket. But guys, they are men. And anything can happen. Final thoughts of Boston. What a great event. Thank you, Bostonians, and thank you, little doggy. Great atmosphere. Love the competitions in the US because the public is always down and the time zone works perfectly for me. But I also hate the inflation. Season is not over yet. I will see you for World Team Trophy. Still unsure of whether or not I will do a preview for WTT. You guys will know. I just don't know what to talk about because it's just like a fun time. It's a competition, but it also doesn't feel like one. I will do a recap, that's for sure. What was your favorite moment at Worlds? Until then, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! This time next year, we will have new Olympic champions. Oh, I cannot wait!